All right, so we're going to continue on chapter 6 of Proverbs. We're going to read from verse 6 to 11. It's going to be easy study. It's a easy going through these verses. It's going to based on the topic is being lazy. Okay, so let's start. Verse 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, having no guide, overseer, or ruler. Provideth her meat in the summer and gather her food in the harvest. It's interesting that the Lord have made animals in a special way and programmed them to survive. And since we as humans have a way of thinking, we can rationalize things, and also we could make decisions that really are very faulty. Now, animals are not perfect, but you could tell by this example of the ant. If you see the ant, they're always doing something. They have to provide for themselves for survival, so the colony could grow. Yeah, some of these insects do have queens, like the bees, and some ants do, but they have a job. They have something to do. They don't think it twice. They just do it. Humans are the same way, but in a way we abuse it also, and sometimes we'll get to a certain comfortable status in life where we don't want to work because we have other people do it for us, and that's false. We're always got to be busy no matter what. Even in retirement, we're supposed to be busy, and the ant's a good example. And human nature is lazy. The human nature rather do whatever it wants to bring that person pleasure. Work is not pleasurable. It could be good. It could actually bring enjoyment, but it's not something it's to provide for our needs. The Lord gave us a job so we could provide for our home, our families, for ourselves, for substance, for survival. And we're supposed to work by the sweat of our face, not our brow, our face. Okay, so it's going to be a hard work. And sometimes you might feel like you are in a spot where you're not going anywhere, that you want to advance. But that's something that's been sold to us commercially here in this country, thinking that, there's an American dream and we need to reach it. But in the beginning, it was more of a place where you could be free to work, worship, and have ideas, right? But then it got perverted later on to where an American dream is to have a home, a car, vacations, just a lot of leisure. But that's not it. We're supposed to work. Even Adam, whenever he was created, he had a job. Even in the perfect situation, he was supposed to tend the garden and pretty much give the animals their names, and that's it. He had a full-time job. And of course, the fall happened, and it became worse. The ground became dry. Thorns and thistles came out because of the curse, because of sin. And then after that, we had to start working that ground for anything to grow. And that's just the condition of sin. Now, that's how it is now. Now, we have it good here in the United States where you get paid very well. Some people complain. Some people gripe. Yes, it's sometimes, especially now in the day that we live, everything's going up. So we got to work a little harder before anything can balance out. And this is going on for a long time since history began. But we just gotta first have faith on the Lord that He will provide all our needs. And He has provided. He's been faithful. Always been faithful to us. We don't go hungry. We always have food in our back. Food in our bellies, clothes in our back, a roof over our heads. And that's the number one thing we have to rely on. First of all, we have to rely for everything on the Lord. And then the things that He give us, be content. Contentment is great gain. It's just a wonderful thing to know that you have everything you need, for your family especially, and for yourself. We don't have to worry about becoming rich. That's one of those things that I think is driving this country down, not being content. Yes, some people have wealth, but the Lord is the one that giveth wealth. And there's a reason he gives wealth. For that, because he trusts that person to handle that wealth, to distribute it properly. And not distribute it like the government does, where they keep a piece and then the rest to the people. No. This was supposed to give to us so because we could give it to others to bless others, okay, especially in the household of God. And we have been abused it. But this is more for the lazy person. I've known quite a bit of people that I work with a lot of people. I've actually trained a lot of people where people don't want to work much. They only want to work for a little bit for a lot of money. That's just where we are now. And hopefully here, God willing, we could... And there are still people that still want to work. They want to provide for their homes and for their families. And even for themselves. They would just want to have a job where they could feel satisfied that they did something productive, and they get paid a good amount for it. And if they save their money, invest properly, and save money, they would actually realize that working does pay off. It's just the other things that we spend our money on. Now we're going to stray away from it. We could talk about that later. So let's continue on. So we're going to verse 9. It says, sorry, I'm going to move this camera here. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want is as an armed man. Let me read that again. My reading skills are horrible today. Excuse me. So shall thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man. People that don't have is because they don't work sometimes. Okay. Bad decisions costs. Okay. I know that by experience. You know, I was a young man when I was a young man. I had a job. I had a good job. Provided enough, and got a house, got a few cars. We got good property and everything that we needed and more. But decisions, choices, put us in a bind, and we didn't gain anything. We bought stuff, but there is nothing in that bank account or under our couch for in case of an emergency. So when the rainy day comes, there's nothing to save you from the circumstance. Let's say a flat tire, or even worse, the motor breaks down. Then what are we gonna do? The Bible teaches that if you save your money or you're careful with the things that God provided for you. If you take care of it and you're a good steward, you won't have that need, or in case of that emergency, you will be provided for. Now, there's a few cases where, let's say Job. Job is a special case where everything was taken from him except for his life, to prove a point that you don't need money, you don't need anything for the Lord to use you and for the Lord to teach you something. He went to he was tested to the extreme for us to learn that in this world we're going to have fiery trials like that. But it's okay. As long as you trust in the Lord, He will provide everything. Let's see what Matthew 4 says real quick. That's one of the things that I always remember. I try to remember because I get to a state where, I work so much and I don't get nothing in return, blah, 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 blah. And then when I read this, it brings everything back to focus to the Lord. And we're going to go back to the testing of the Lord in the wilderness. Here, perfect. 4:4. But he answered and said, It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. That is so true. I've been to that spot where it's been very bad, where we didn't know where we're going to get our next meal. But whenever we rely on the Lord, there's always somebody or something that will it was provided for. No matter who the Lord uses or whatever, He provides. And there's something else here. Let's go to chapter, I believe it's 11. That's another one that I really, really puts me in my place. Let's see. Oh wow! I think I don't remember where it's, and I should have studied it. I should have actually taken the notes where it says, "Seek the kingdom of God, and first in His righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you." I think that's the verse. Please double check on me on that. You can use your phone to look for the phrase. But yeah, that's what the Lord wants. He wants us to seek His kingdom first salvation, and then His righteousness. Live a life that will be pleasing to Him. Then after that, you will notice that most of the things that we seek for, that the world seeks for, the Lord will provide gradually, as much as you can handle. He will not give you too much where you go crazy, but He'll give you enough to where you'll be satisfied and taken care of. So you could that'll be one less thing that you have to worry about, so you could serve the Lord. Okay, let's go back. Yes. And that should, most people that are in poverty are people that don't want to work, and people that, I'm just not all, because the Lord has, like the Lord said at one point, the poor you have always, but me you will not always have. There's always going to be poor, because of sin. Poverty will still be in this world. Some of it's because of laziness. Some of it is mental health. Some of it's other things, bad choices. Some people just like to live in poverty. And you'll be amazed how many people out there, the homeless people, just want to be left alone and just want to live in the streets. That's just what they want. But you gotta talk to some. I do talk to some if I encounter. I'm a very. I don't want to say nosy, but I am. I'm a person that's interested in people. I like to know what makes in them, why they make the choices that they make. Because I like to study human nature, and human nature sometimes is not very pleasant. But anyways, that's the teaching for today. Sorry for not being so detailed. But it's a very simple verses here about laziness and just work. There's nothing wrong with work. There's nothing wrong with getting calluses in your hand. This is for men, okay? For ladies, ladies, you're gonna work, go to school. Maybe you get married to a man that's a hard worker, and you don't have to. You can stay home and take care of your home, take care of the children, and the way that the Lord wanted it. But some women decide to have careers, and if the Lord calls you to have a career, go for it. But yeah, work. There's nothing wrong with work. If you find a job that you enjoy, stick with it. And if you're stuck in a job that you feel like you're going to dead end, search yourself first too. There's a reason why the Lord has you there. Ask Him, and if the Lord tells you to move on to another place. But you really have to search out the scriptures from that. People are doing some crazy things out there. Everybody moves by money and things, and people make choices by changing careers. Even it pays a lot more, but they don't realize the consequences of moving to another job that might cost you more than just your time. Might cost you your family, might cost your fellowship with the Lord. And there's two things that you really cannot afford to lose: the fellowship of the Lord and your family. Money does not buy everything. It might buy you things that you really want, but if you really, really want those things, you actually make sure that you work and save to have those things. You don't have to overextend yourself to get those things, and then you sacrifice your family and the fellowship of the Lord. Anyways, I'll let you guys go, and I'll talk to you next time.